Hello, classic Japanese car fans. Today we're going to unbox 4 new old stock Konami vehicles. I did some research. I think these vehicles came out somewhere around 2010, so these might be 10-year-old cars, and let's take a look, see if there's any damage. We'll go in chronological order here. We're going to start here with the Mazda Familia Rotary Coupe, body code M10A from 1968. The Mazda Familia actually dates back to 1963 and was sold up until 2003, and it later on became the Mazda 3 series. So what we're looking at though is the first generation Familia, and I didn't know this before, but it was actually designed by Giugiaro when he was working at Bertone. And if you look him up, he's done so many cool cars that it's insane really how many cool cars he's designed. And anyways, the Familia here, they sold around 400,000 of them. It was a pretty popular car. But the car we're looking at here that Konami made is a special one. It's the rotary coupe, so it has a 2-rotor wankle up there in front. And this thing is rear-wheel drive. And let's see, I guess 68, this would make it the last year it was sold. This coupe version came out in 1965. Now, this car actually, a lot of people raced this car, and it was quite successful. It was racing against Porsche 911s and BMW Alpines, and so it was actually a very competitive car. I never knew that because I didn't grow up in Japan, and I don't think they ever, I'm not sure if they exported this. Maybe they did, actually. I think it was maybe known as the R100 in other countries. So anyways, I just never recall seeing one. I was too young. I wasn't even born yet, so take a look here. So we got a red. It's just a regular red, not metallic or anything like that. And actually, I gotta angle the camera down. I find the light to be better at this angle. Yeah, there we go. So this side, I'll start here. Konami's have the suspension, which is great. Looks like we have an old badge there. I think it says Familia. It's hard to see with the naked eye or even through my camera screen, but I bet YouTube will show that. Nice paint there, and a little paint for the key lock there and the door handle. Nicely molded outline for the fuel filler door, considering it's on a concave surface. Silver paint around the window. You can see the interior nicely at this angle. Actually, it looks like a two-tone. Looks like the middle of the back seats have like white or gray. Let me take a look here. I think it's supposed to be white, and then you can see the wood color of the steering wheel. Okay, the wheels, yeah, I mean, they're pretty plain, but maybe that's what they really looked like on this car back in the day. Okay, look at this rear end. Interesting. Now, these just seem to be that chromed plastic with some red paint on them. They're not translucent plastic. But we have this old Mazda badge. It looks kind of like military fonts, doesn't it? Interesting that Mazda did that. Okay, well, let's see. We got a painted, kind of a messy painted exhaust tip there. But it's better than just plain black. And a blank license plate. And again, the keyhole there for the trunk is painted silver, so that's neat. I guess we'll go on the bottom here. So yeah, actually, wow, this model is from 2004. So I think the images I saw of 2010 might have been like re-releases. So Konami's got these old treads. They look somewhat period correct. I just don't think they get the width of the tire correct all the time. They seem to share a lot of tires amongst their models, so it's not completely accurate, I bet. Okay, so look at the top here. Paint's alright. I mean, no major bubbling. It's not perfectly awesome, but I think these cars are probably like $5 or less. I think the 2010 cars were like $50 for a case of 12, and this is 6 years before that, so this must be a pretty inexpensive car. Alright, this side, a little something going on here, maybe some paint rashes starting there, but otherwise, well, I think it's okay for a car that's like 16, 17 years old. Alright, look at this front, it looks evil. The little, what is that? I gotta look at that with the naked eye here. Okay, so, well, no, that's really hard to tell. The camera screen, yeah, alright, and the naked eye. It seems like this is a clear piece of plastic, and that circle is the part of the clear plastic going into this chromed grill piece. And so it's just the light diffusion going on, the reflection inside, but it looks like an evil possessed. It almost looks, because the car is red behind it, so I'm getting a faint of red tint there, like as if the devil is possessing this car. Maybe this is the Japanese version of Christine. Okay, what would that be called? I don't know. Anyways, texture here in the grill, and it's painted, so that's neat. Just white paint on the blinkers, but that's fine. Little emblem indication there, but I don't think there's anything printed on it. It's so shiny I can't tell. Okay, well, got a little vents here in the hood. Okay, and then you have that interior. The windshield wiper blades, they're just clear plastic. They're not painted or anything like that. So it's just the molding of the plastic. Okay, well, paint bubbling going on up there. I didn't notice this badge on the trunk before either. I can't make that out either. I'm not sure what that would say. Well, maybe you can see it on the YouTube. Okay, well, let's see. I'll try to have this spin here. No, I don't think I'm going to get the spin, so I'll just have the car sit there. Okay, so next up, what we have is the Nissan Bluebird SSS, body code P510 from 1968. And so the Nissan Bluebird first came out in 1957 and was sold up until 2007, I believe. And what we're looking at is the third generation of the Bluebird. And the SSS is an interesting story. At the time, Chevy was naming all their cars Super Sports, Camaro SS and all that stuff. So they had the rights to the SS moniker. So Nissan just added a third S. You know, this is supposed to be the Bluebird Super Sport, but they couldn't use just two S's, so they tacked on a third one. But what that Super Sport version got you is a 1.6 liter inline four up here front, and it has two carburetors over the single carburetor of the stock version. And you know, if you know the Datsun 510, which is the same thing here, it's a very competitive car. You know, many people race these cars not only in road races but also rallies, you know, off-road kind of races, and it was quite successful for an Econo box. I think it's great. This is obviously a legend as far as JDM cars go. Okay, so I'll take it off the base because I'm kind of curious when this thing came out. 2005. Okay, so a year later. See, same tires. All right, different company but same tires. So Konami shares their tires, I think, a lot. Okay, so really interesting wheels here. I don't know how to. They look like pasta extruders. I'm not really a fan of them, but whatever. And I do like this badge here. It's printed on. Maybe that's some sort of Bluebird insignia. Okay, we got this. It looks like, wow, that's a physically molded door key. It's not. I think there's a little silver under it, but it's physically molded into the casting. Decent panel line gaps here. There it says Bluebird printed on, so that's interesting that they were able to print that into that recess. This groove going along the side, which is really nice. It helps break up the height of the door. Okay, so a little silver paint on the window here, and then silver paint on the center, the B pillar, and a tiny bit going around the perimeter. Maybe not as much, not as readily noticeable. Okay, the back here, so no lenses or anything, just the chrome plastic again and paint over them. A little texture here, a little keyhole indicator, and what's that say? I guess that must say Nissan, and then over here it says Bluebird. Okay, bumperettes here, painted black. The muffler is painted silver as part of the bottom casting. Well, bottom mold, plastic molding. Okay, well, a little rough here. I don't know what kind of contaminants got in there, but it's not. I can live with it. Seems like they're polishing or something. I can see streaks going through this paint. But it seems like the clear coat, it's not very thick at all. Not a very glossy paint like an Aoshima. Okay, up front we got this ribbing here. Getting a little yellow, extra yellow paint filling in that gap. Okay, a little problem there. Okay, front end, well, we do have the plastic insert. Seems to be a logo there of some sort. Painted on blinkers, and then again, bumperette. And this plastic chrome here, and some vents underneath the bumper actually, molded into the die casting. Okay, so the interior, yeah, black and some sort of colored steering wheel. So not as cool as the last interior because it wasn't two-tone. Oh well. Okay, well, it's an interesting mustard color. Very, uh-oh, this axle's messed up. Maybe it's not so bad. Seems like it was messed up. Alright, we'll move on. Okay, so the next one is from 1972. This is the Mazda Savanna GT. Okay, so the Mazda Savanna first came out in 1971 and ran up until 1978. And it's considered pretty much, to me, the first generation RX-7, because later on they were called RX-7s. The second version and the third version and all that. So I'm just trying to get this off the stand here. So this has a 2-rotor Wankel as well, and it has a 1.5. Let's see, it's a 1.2 liter, I guess. But it's really popular in Japan because it was under a tax limit of 1.5 liters. You know, this is a 1.2 liter, so it had a decent amount of horsepower, but it fell into a smaller tax bracket. So that's why Wankel engines were really popular in Japan. Okay, so you'll notice here, as my thumb is going over, there's a lot of orange peel in this paint finish. Not as bad on the roof, but this hood is really peely. Okay, so this is a really dark brown, I guess. Yeah, seems to be brown. Okay, alright, let's see what's going on here. I gotta start with the wheels. Stamped steel wheels, but they have a nice silver paint around. Maybe not on this tire though. This wheel's not so good. I want to mess with the tire, flip it around. Okay, we got a silver door handle, the silver printing around the window, and what looks like some sort of badge, maybe? I think that says GT on it. Yeah, because this is the Savanna GT. And then it says Savanna right there. And then we got some turn signals, but an interesting color turn signals. They're very yellow. They're not orangey at all. Almost every other Konami, they seem to use orange, but this is the first one I think I've gotten that has yellow side blinkers. Interesting. When was this made? 2003, so this is the oldest one now. Huh. But I do like how they write what the car is, so that's great. And then same tires again. So there's a trend. Konami has the same tires for their classic Japanese cars. Whoa, that's an interesting back end. Okay. I kind of like it. 3 taillights, scans the chrome plastic with just colored paint over it. But we've got badge there, the keyhole thing, and that's molded on. It's molded and painted silver. We got the old basic Mazda text and then GT written there. The chrome license plate wasn't painted. Usually they paint the plate there. Okay, and this time the muffler is not painted. It's just black. Maybe it wasn't chrome on the real car. Alright, well this is interesting. I didn't see these before. Some sort of maybe vents back there. Okay, some ribbing in the interior, but it seems to be plain black, and no color to the steering wheel. But there you can see there is a lot of detail. It looks like there's a shifter and some cushioning to the seats. Okay, so, and then we get to the front. So insert lights again. Pretty nicely painted chrome surrounds, and that's a neat little logo. Turn signals are way underneath, and again, that yellow, they're not orange. I wonder if they just ran out of orange and they're like, hey, just throw some yellow on there. Don't know. Interesting appearance, the styling of that. Okay, well, let's move on to the last one. So, I'm sure pretty much anyone in the world would know what a Civic is nowadays. So this is a 1200 RS from 1974. And the Civic first came out 2 years before in 1972. And ran up until 1979, this version, that is. Okay, but obviously there's many generations of Civic, but this body style ran up until 79. And there's a little 1.2 liter up front, and I think the reason why the Honda Civic did so well is because the fuel crisis occurred, and Honda was really keen to capitalize on, you know, everyone's fear of having expensive gas prices or no gas at all. So this thing had a CVCC engine. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but it's quite interesting. Minor detail, it has a special pre-combustion chamber that allows it to burn its fuel and not have to use a catalytic converter. But most importantly to normal people, this could run on leaded fuel and unleaded fuel. So for you young people, there used to be gasoline with lead in it. And obviously lead is not good for the humans, so they banned it, and now we're all running unleaded fuel. Okay, here's an old Honda badge, really nicely printed. Physically, no, I don't think that's a bump. It's just silver. No, it is a bump. That keyhole is a bump on the casting, it seems. Door handle, okay, a little black in the center of the wheels, but this one wasn't painted so hot. Okay, fuel filler door. Little silver dots there. I think this is one of those rear windows where there's a hinge or something, and maybe the back of it pops out a little bit. Okay, so you can see the color of the steering wheel on that one. This is a nice green. None of these cars seem to be metallic. They're just regular colors. They're not metallic, but let's go to the front this time. Okay, so inserts a badge there. And then I guess that must be a red H, or really it's not, but I'm sure it's supposed to be an H. Yeah, it's hard to tell on such a chrome background. See, this time the license plate is white. Bumpers painted a little black on this little bumperettes, or I'm not sure what those are really called. And then we got paint here. This bumper is a separate piece of plastic. And underneath, now we're back to orange turn signals, which I think makes more sense. Same tires though, right? And it's from 2004. Okay, so that's actually quite a lot of detail on the hood here. You know, we got these vents back here, but these little vents there, I wonder if they're functional on the car or not, or just like appearance. Okay, so there's that interior again, and some silver around the windows. Okay, silver around the rear window. Nice printing here. Civic, Honda, RS. And then again, silver chromed plastic with color on top of it, but it's kind of not everywhere though. Okay, white license plate and these little chrome lights to illuminate the plate. And then we got the plastic bumper, chromed bumper, and the exhaust is painted with a little bit of silver. And there's an actual cutout for that exhaust tip there in the casting, so it's a nice detail. Wow, so that's a really nice car. I mean, I think this is the best model of the four. What do you guys think? You know, I think I'm gonna see if I can get these on the little tray here. The tray of comparison. We're not really comparing the, I guess, like to like, but it's kind of interesting knowing the size of cars and stuff like that. Because this Civic is clearly not. It's a different size of car. Being a little hatchback, right? Being so short. Okay. So variations on 1960s, 1970s styling. This red car, I get a little European flair from this one. Reminds me of an Alpha a little bit. But the Civic is something else. It's definitely, I guess, that's pretty much Japanese. Alright. Okay, some front views. Okay. Well, I don't know, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment on which car you like the most. And I think overall, you know, I'm a big fan of Konami. They're not as good as Kyosho, I think. But I think they're still pretty good. They're definitely worthy of my collection. I have a bunch now. And I'm going to continue to purchase them. Alright then, we'll see you next time. Bye.